Alright, welcome back to Undermountain, an epic dungeon delving adventure here on Javelin Entertainment. We will be streaming this story every Thursday, starting at 6 p.m. Central. If you missed the last chapter, you can find it on the channel page or by clicking on the playlist in the description. Last time, our adventurers regathered in the Yawning Portal, but with Archi notably absent. The party discussed the proposition given to them by Davil, and Elias filled them in on some research that he did on Davil and the Zhentarim. After weighing the options for each of the tasks ahead of them, the party decided to venture to a place known as Blue Alley to retrieve a magical bracelet. Each of the four of them inscribed their names on the guest book and made their way inside the alley. They passed by a few doorways near the entrance, as well as a large mural, and instead headed to a hidden doorway that Elias noticed, leading to a hidden winery with metal racks filled with old bottles. There's a small golden door in the northwest corner of the room, but despite their best efforts, they were unable to open it. Zannah and Ari did manage to find some healing potions and some dark wine with a golden label, and heading back to the intersection, they saw they were trapped upon an adhesive carpet, and it seemed that only Elias's joke was able to set them free. Further in, they battled an animated sword to grab a mysterious green gem and found multiple hidden doorways. Elias found a small chamber containing what looked like a broken crossbow trap. Ari found himself trapped in an eerily quiet room, and Zannah and Valcrie found a small study with an enchanted table. Pulling a box from the table caused a wispy ball of lightning to appear that was a bit more dangerous than it seemed. Alternatively, placing the gem that they had found inside the runes caused random things to start appearing around the table, including what seems to be an individual. So, we first start our story with Glira. As you sit inside the Yawning Portal Tavern after a long day, kind of drinking some, looking around, it's a typical afternoon for you. Then suddenly things start disappearing around you. You're eating off your plate when suddenly your fork just vanishes from your hand. You go to take a drink to wash away and see if you're seeing things, and your tankard disappears from right off the table. Next to your plate and the food upon it, the chair that you're sitting in, and finally you get pulled in, sucked through some sort of interdimensional connection. As you blink and adjust, you find yourself sprawled out on the floor of a very small study. A couch lies in front of a hearth roaring with flame, a table set out in the middle of the room where you can see scattered across the floor tankards, utensils, plates, and even an old boot. And here, sitting on this floor, as you get up, you can hear sounds of individuals coming from beyond the doorway, and see the edges of a large furred figure, what looks to be a massive direwolf in the doorway, though it doesn't seem to be looking at you at the moment. What would you like to do?
Shy as far away. Oh my gosh, take that away. Shy as far away from the direwolf as possible, slowly trying not to draw any attention to myself.
Sure, go and roll me a stealth check.
Ooh.
So, as you begin to...
Wait, I have the halfling thing.
Oh, you do have the halfling thing, that's right. Okay.
Not even my wolf, my first time.
So
Good
as
job.
you begin to shy away, just slowly trying to hide behind some of the furniture, you catch sight, your foot catches the edge of a small tankard that had appeared from the tavern, and you begin to slip and fall and kind of catch yourself just in time as you cling to the back of the couch, hiding out of view for the moment. The rest of you have since watched as this ball of lightning has dispersed into invisibility, no longer able to be seen. You all kind of feel slightly worse off for wear, as it was a little bit more than you had expected. And you look across the floor that is now scattered with items that seem to be from some sort of tavern ware. And I believe it was Ari or Zannah last time, we'll say both for this, had noticed a figure that had seemed to appear, but looking into the study, the figure seems to be gone.
Hey, was someone in there? Did you intend to put us on a different map? Because we're still on the homepage.
I do need to pull you into the other map. Thank you. There you go. As you call out, Ari, the room still seems quiet. From where you can see past the large figure that was Zannah, you don't see any figure anymore lying in there, though you still hear the occasional clink of metallic silverware as it hits the floor.
What kind of room is that?
Well, I mean, the table's kind of... It's got a transmutation spell on it. More or less, things inside of it are not what appear outside of it. If that makes any sense.
I can't say that it does.
Well, the gym kind of made it work, and it looks like a bunch of stuff came out from somewhere. And then there was Sparky the Fluffball. It was fluffy in the box, and then I put it in the circle, and then it turned into something that wanted to shock us to death.
There's a large thump as a wooden chair suddenly apparates in the center of the room, kind of tipping over, and next to the hearth, and you watch as the flames begin to lick up at the wood.
Where do you reckon that chair came from?
Would Valcrie recognize the chair? Like the style of chair? Might it be from the
You
tavern?
can make me a perception or a history check.
Okay, we're gonna do history.
No.
First nat 20! I'm so excited!
So you look at this chair, and you know that you've seen a lot of well-built chairs at the Yawning Portal, but telling one chair from another, especially between the taverns, is fairly difficult. You can tell that this chair is well built, and so it's from a wealthier tavern, but there are still a dozen of those across the city. However, you do distinctly see a small carving in the chair that you remember one of the patrons was kind of toying with a pocket knife on one of the chairs, and you had to kind of get him to stop damaging the property, and you do see those exact same carvings along the edge of this chair.
So, as Valkyrie is quite the personable creature, would she have asked this one her name? Because I would think so.
Asked the person who was defacing the chair there?
The carver. The carver. Because therefore they were a patron, and therefore she was serving them, or at least around them. And she's nosy, so she probably would have talked to them. And that's their name?
Sure. They were a half-orc named Frabaz.
Interesting. And so she knows for sure it's from the Yawning Portal because of that?
Yes, it is identical to that one. So you're not sure how,
well,
but
Ari?
that chair is definitely from the Yawning Portal, unless somebody
That chair.
else made the exact same carving.
Suspicious.
That orc was there.
Yeah,
he does it to every chair.
That chair is from the Yawning Portal.
And as you look at it, Valcrie, the flames from the hearth are beginning to burn away at the edge of it as it starts to become more charcoal-esque, and you see the fire slowly but starting to spread.
Ah. So, would it be fair to assume that that room is about to go up in flames, if I'm understanding correctly?
Right now,
If it's, like, spreading?
it's spreading from the chair, but you do see that
Okay.
there's a wood floor here. There's a rug, the table itself, the couch. Like, if you don't do anything, it's very possible that this fire could spread to the whole room.
Any have any water on them? That room is a little combustible, flammable, burnable.
You look
No?
around, and nobody seems to carry any water on them, outside of maybe a water skin, but that certainly wouldn't help too much here.
Right.
But the fire has yet to
She's
become
gone too bad.
the fire has yet to become an inferno. It's just slowly licking up the edge of the chair right now.
Yeah, she doesn't have anything to stop it.
Yeah, no.
Well, I guess. So I don't recall. I don't think we picked up the gem, right?
Nope, the gem is still on the table, and you hear another metallic clink as a plate hits the wooden floor.
Should
Well, Valkyrie's
grab
gonna
that?
volunteer. Yeah, Valkyrie's gonna volunteer and walk back in there to grab said gem.
All right.
And I guess she'll try to make a scan because Ari did kind of, I guess, yell, whisper, speak out into the room
Sure, you can make me a perception check.
in case there is somebody.
Well, I
Will be
also, as everyone was
excited.
leaving, was gonna try and slip out as well to get out of the fire.
Okay.
So I will
So
be moving. Probably
Valkyrie,
easier.
as you kind of give a look around, you don't catch sight of anything at the moment. This room is pretty small, and you see a handful of items kind of lying around the ground, but they're all inanimate outside of this single chair. And as you grab the gem off the table, you pull it up, and there's the occasional clink of items now stops. You look around and listen, and it's still quiet.
Well, I don't think there's anything in here, guys. I guess we can just take the gem and go.
All right then.
Right, and as you watch all of these people begin to exit this room, the fire slowly building from the chair, Glira, what are you doing?
I would also like to try and slip out of the room to avoid the fire.
All right, are you just so this is a pretty small room with a single door.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to not be seen by the others?
Not especially, because I don't really know what I'm doing here either. So, just kind of wandering out and looking around to try and figure out where I am.
Okay, so you all now suddenly see as a small halfling woman just begins to wander out of the door, kind of looking casual, kind of glancing around, doesn't seem to say anything in particular, but just kind of glances over you all as she walks out from the room that you were just in.
Hey, where did you come from?
Well, I've got a pretty good idea of where I came from. I'd really like to know where I am. Because I came from a tavern. And this ain't it.
Austin, is she a new patron, or would this be another patron that perhaps she's seen before?
You haven't seen this particular individual before, no.
Okay, cool. Well, welcome to the Blue Alley. We're kind of on a trial here, I guess. Trying to find something. What were we finding? Was it a bracelet?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I haven't seen a bracelet. I mean, I don't think there's a bracelet in that room.
I hope it wasn't
So
in that
maybe
room.
not.
I wouldn't go back in that room.
There's now a considerable amount of crackling as the fire is spread across the back of the chair and is now starting to reach the floorboards.
Well, may I suggest we shut the door? And I guess you're welcome to come with us. We have to get out of the alley at some point, so you can always tag along.
You guys are just cool with letting that whole room burn down?
Oh, well, it's,
I can't.
what are we gonna do about it?
Anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. This is interesting.
I mean, if we close the door, it shouldn't spread.
Oh yeah, it's just one room. That's fine.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's magical, so it can't be the worst thing.
Alright, so you all do your best
Okay.
to kind of close and seal up this door. Hopefully locking the fire behind, and leave yourselves out in this larger chamber with the pedestal where you had fought the sword.
Okay, I see why this is called the Blue Alley. And I still don't know where I am.
Oh, it's way, way up north. North?
Ah.
Or is it south?
Yes, it is north.
I'm
You
bad
guys-
directions.
You guys know
Cool.
that it was in the sea ward
It
of the
is
city.
way up north. Ah, yes. Complete opposite direction from the Yawning Portal. If you can't tell, I'm a bit new here myself. Kind of a semi-permanent visitor.
I see. Well, I'm not making it back where I came from by sunset, so I guess I can help you look for this bracelet. I'm pretty good at finding things.
Then you may be just who we need. So, Elias, Ari, you guys are like the idea guys. Where do you want to go now?
There's still those two doors down south that we haven't been to.
Right.
And then there's the whole right side of the alley. So probably those, unless our new friend knows how to get through the iron bars up where those pedestals were, because that sword on the platform looked kind of neat, but I don't know how to get there.
Yeah.
Actually, what is your name,
Oh,
newcomer?
my name is Clara.
Clara. Good to meet you. I'm Ari.
Nice to meet you.
Ari.
I've been with these fine folk here for about a week now. We trying to go down into the Undermountain eventually.
You're trying to go into the Undermountain?
Yeah.
Of course.
Whoa. That sounds epic.
Well, we recently had someone quit the group, so we've got space if you decide you want to come. But let's get out of here first.
I am all for getting out of here.
So yes, you guys find
And I'm
yourself...
Valcrie.
It's nice to meet you too.
And
You all look very fancy.
Oof.
And yeah, we'll say for brevity that Elias and Zannah do also introduce themselves. Elias being the large armored individual, and Zannah after. Actually, I don't know if she wants to stay in wolf form or not, so I'll kind of leave that up to her on how that introduction is made.
Oh, don't mind Zannah. She, I don't know, she does that.
She does.
Yeah, she's
Gonna
an
point at
animal
the.
changer.
Oh,
Very nice.
okay. That's a large animal.
You know, she's really delightful. When she's a person.
I'll take your word for it.
Perhaps. Oh, there you go. Jess will stay a wolf.
So yeah, the big wolf that is like taller than you are, just kind of comes over and kind of gives a nod of introduction.
Clara will try her best to be polite, but that makes her extremely uncomfortable.
Oh, it's okay. You can hang out front with me. So, we can go back down and find the door then?
Maybe you shouldn't hang out front. That lightning ball really seems to have hit you.
What, is my hair standing up?
Your hair is slightly frizzy.
And she's got a lot of hair.
I mean, your hair looks great, but maybe not quite as healthy as normal.
Well then, I could also afford to sit here for like, say, a short rest if you want to do that.
Maybe
Unless
just
someone
hang
can
back
heal.
hang back with Brother Elias, and I'll see what's in front of us.
Thanks, Zannah. I appreciate it. Okay, fine. I'll be in the middle. How about middle?
Middle's a good place.
Okay. Well,
All right.
charge onward.
Adventure time. Y'all are coming, right?
I'm coming.
So yes, you all begin to wander back through the halls that you had previously made your way through. Finding your way. Here, I gotcha. There you go. And nothing seems to have changed. The wandering blue cobblestone still kind of echoes with your footsteps. Ari, as you once again step onto the carpet, your feet once again begin to get locked into the carpet fibers as your feet stick steadily to the carpet.
Oh, not again.
But
A common occurrence?
it happened last time on our way up.
Hmm.
It likes jokes.
Slightly frustrated, you look down expectantly, and once again the pattern in the floor shifts to reveal a mouth that kind of just begins to open and stretch these long, toothy maw. Make me laugh!
What kind of fish only comes out at night? A starfish.
The mouth sits there unmoving. You'll need a better joke than last time.
What do you call a fish
that was
with
a
two
very
legs?
good joke.
What do you call a fish with two legs? A two-knee fish.
Once again, the laugh just roars out this large laughter and intones a word, and you feel your feet loosen from the carpet as it fades back into the pattern. And you are released from the carpet once more.
All right, come along quickly before it wants to laugh again.
Before it wants to laugh again.
I figured Ari having some fish jokes would be handy.
Oh, it's perfect.
I support this.
We picked the jokes thematically.
So which
Right.
door do we want?
Let's
A
try this
door?
one.
Yeah,
How's the
as
score?
you guys go up towards this door, once again, it's up a small flight of stairs. And at the top, here, I'll help you, Sam. There you go. At the top, it is a fairly simple wooden door without any sort of elaborate carvings. And as you move up to it, you kind of test the door, and it appears to be unlocked. Is anyone opening it?
Yes.
All right. Ari, as you open up the door, you see inside what looks to be a large field. Extending off in every direction, you see just these plains of green grass, a small trough of water over to the side, brushes and bush that are rising up from the ground, and a clear sky overhead. There are 2 silos that seem to border the parts of the pasture.
What is this place?
I don't know. What's that green stuff?
Grass. Are you
Grass?
asking what grass is?
Grass is it? And Valkyrie brings out her notepad and starts taking some notes on grass.
What?
Okay, so Sam, she's a tiefling. So you may think about that yourself.
Yes, and Glare, as you kind of look at this individual, she is quite strange. Kind of standing fairly tall for a female individual, but with these kind of horns that part out of this long white-pink hair and this bright pink skin that is covered. It's very unusual.
No, all of that's fine. What's unusual is someone not knowing what grass is.
Well, when you're not from around here, you may not know what grass is.
Okay. I will try and comprehend that.
I mean, no one has asked, therefore she has not said.
But yeah, as you guys kind of sit on the edge of this pasture, it does seem to extend far in different directions. And Zannah, as you kind of step in and try and go off in one direction, you find that you're kind of held back by some force field just to the left of the door.
So, what's the light source in here?
There shouldn't be a light source outside of you all.
I mean, how how is the grass alive?
as you kind of look up in here, actually I lied. Because this room is a light. As you look up, it looks like you're looking at a clear blue sky. You don't actually see a sun, but it appears lighted as if the sun was in the sky.
Interesting.
Is there anything that you're trying to do while you're in here, Ari or Zannah? And are the rest of you waiting outside, or are you going in as well?
Zannah's just enjoying the grass. Big wolf feet.
As your feet do step through, it does feel like grass. Some
As
of it...
Valkyrie's a little hurty, she's staying back.
Most of the grass is fairly low, but some of it does sprout off in longer shoots with some plants and flowers growing up occasionally. But you do still find that while the pasture extends off in all directions, you are kind of seems kept in by some sort of force field. Though on the opposite side of kind of a few dozen feet away, you do see as two large silver silos kind of extend up through the middle of this pasture.
Clara will poke her head through everyone else standing in the doorway and be like, "What do you think's in those?" The big silver silos.
No.
You do also see two small wooden doorways on each of the silos.
I bet you could find out.
Can I perceive with a hearing or smell check?
Sure, go ahead and roll me a perception check at advantage. Because it does
Alright.
rely on smell.
Oh my god.
Okay, so... Oh!
Oh, Jess.
Advantage.
Yeah, advantage.
There we go.
Oh, +3. Sorry. I didn't put that in there.
So that's a 19.
Yes.
So as you kind of begin to sniff the air around, it smells remarkably clean. The rest of this dungeon has been pretty damp, and kind of old smelling. This smells like you're outside in a pasture, and you actually catch just the scent of what almost smells like a herd of cattle. Kind of that distant smell that is not the most pleasant, but at the same time feels very natural.
Okay. Am I allowed to communicate with everybody when I'm in wolf form, or am I just stuck as a wolf?
Until
wait.
you
I have a plan.
until you
Never-
revert back, you theoretically cannot talk unless people have ways of talking to you.
Okay.
I have speak with animals, but that takes a spell slot, and I need those for smiting.
That is true.
Yeah, don't waste that.
Yeah, no. You can you have as many wild shapes as I have smite slots.
Gotcha.
Well, probably. I don't know. I don't really know how druids work.
I just know I'm riding this as long as I can.
It's both true in character and metagaming.
Perfect.
Yeah, as you kind of come up near the first door of one of the silos, and you see a very simple wooden door. Doesn't even seem to have any sort of locking mechanism. It's just kind of on some rusted metal hinges, kind of holding the door closed.
Can I paw at it to see if it opens?
Yeah, you stick a large wolf paw at the door, and it kind of swings open.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
That's
Give
not
me-
creepy.
Of course not. Giving a quick glance inside, you do see that within is a single silver-plated ox skull with runes covering the skull's horns. You also see that the interior has been covered in what looks like a whitish ivory paint, and there are large, almost seemingly random geometric patterns scrawled all across the walls and floor.
This is
I'm
kind
gonna
of
head
sus.
tilt.
That is not
Gonna
what the
head tilt and
silos
go
are
on
meant
point.
for.
The wolf kind of points towards the skull in the silo. And as the door is swung open, most
Valcrie
of you
wants
can
to
see
look at
this.
skull.
All right, from the doorway, or are you going up to investigate it?
Ooh. Well, she's learned that people stepping in doesn't always go well. So she's going to try and look from the doorway and see if it is worth stepping further forward.
All right, give me a perception check.
Oh. I miss being able to perceive things.
Yeah, we are talking, Joe. Can you not hear us? Oh wait, that. Yeah, I see the flaw. I see the flaw now.
You see the flaw in the plan. How is a 14?
It made sense at the time.
Sometimes they do that. Yeah, as Valcrie, you begin to look in here, the silo is completely empty. Typically, these types of silos are known to store grain or some sort of food, but looking inside, there's no sign of anything within outside of just the carving or the paintings on the wall, as well as the single skull. And looking at the skull, you haven't really spent a lot of time around cattle, but you have seen a few of them within the city. This seems considerably larger than a typical cow skull.
It does look like a very large cow skull.
It is.
And with the perception, would you have anything from the symbols and runes?
You can see that the runes on the cow skull seem to be somewhat arcane in nature. They seem similar in at least general style to the ones on the table, though you're not sure of the purpose. The geometric patterns on the walls you're not able to make hides or tail of. They just seem like general patterns, just kind of geometric. You see triangles and circles, and they're very complex, but they don't mean anything to you.
And so with an Arcana check, could you try to see what the runes on the skull are indicating?
Yeah, but you'd have to get up close to them.
Or no?
Yes, it would be Arcana, but you'd have to get close enough to examine them.
Yeah, I'm trying to throw something else in there first to see if it'll do something bad.
What can I chuck at it to see what happens?
Yeah, what do I not need as much? Well, I don't think she needs a hammer. She's going to lightly toss the hammer through the doorway. To right about here, she can.
You kind of pull off your pack and begin searching through it as everyone just kind of watches confused. You're just like, aha! And you pull out a hammer and just like, I don't need this. Chuck it into the room, and it kind of bounces and rolls off the floor, coming to rest about a foot from the cow skull.
Okay, well, seeing that nothing happens, she will very cautiously do the hokey pokey and take a step in. But ready to take a step out if she needs to. So.
You take a step in and nothing seems to happen.
Okay, cool. She shall now examine the skull.
Alright, go ahead and roll me an Arcana check. You kind of kneel down and you looked at the runes on the table before and were able to get a rough idea of what they were. These ones seem different. They are still in the same style, but they're actually carved into the bone here, and the shapes are not the same as they were before. And you're not really able to make out what these ones actually do.
Bummer. She'll pick up her hammer, put it back in her bag, and walk out, saying, I don't know, it does something magical, but I can't tell what it does.
Hang on. Yeah. Can I use my divine sense to see if this is an evil cow skull?
Sure. Is that just an action,
Good
or
point.
is that take
That's an
time?
action.
Okay, cool. So yeah, as you kind of come towards the doorway and just kind of take a moment, closing your eyes, extending your senses outward, within your proximity, you don't detect anything giving off any sort of evil intentions or any sort of celestial fiend or undead.
Okay, well, I've done all I can do.
How about the other silo?
Are you going over to open the other one?
Well, she'll at least look at it.
You
How does
look
this
at
door
it.
look?
Looks almost identical. Same old wooden planks on rusty metal hinges on the outside of a silver silo extending up maybe 20, 30 feet.
Hit with paw, take 2.
Once again,
See, that's
paw
what
on
I
the
was waiting
door.
for.
It opens up and
Ugh.
you see a very similar interior. It's that same ivory white paint covers the floor and walls, with geometric patterns drawn, scribbled all over the paint, and another large cow skull with the same runic inscriptions into the bone.
So, there's a cow-based cult here. That's neat.
Yeah, it looks the same as the other one.
No hammer throws this time.
No.
Is anyone else doing anything?
I'm gonna go sniff the other one that we already threw a hammer at and see if it smells tainted or evil or something.
Well, I can tell you it does not smell like a celestial fiend or undead.
Go ahead.
With great certainty.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
All right. Let's do this right this time. Right. 2. Oh, I'm not perceptive today.
There is a heavy scent of bovine, but that's it.
Turns out the DC was 2.
Rip.
The cow skull smells like cow skull.
Am I? Oh, nope. I have -4 intelligence. Never mind.
Wait. Oh, as I was like, how? And then I remembered you were a wolf, and it made more sense.
No, with wild shape, I believe you keep your mental stats. It's only your physical stats that change. It's polymorph that changes all of them.
Oh, okay. Then please hold. What am I?
I'll look it up so that I understand how druids work.
Oh, my arcana is not much better, but I'll try to figure out what it is.
Sure.
Hey,
Yeah, you look at these and you're not even sure why Valcrie was interested in them. They just seem like chicken scratch on a cow skull, so it's just the whole farm in here.
Can Valcrie try one more time, but on the other skull?
Sure. Give me one more Arcana
If
check.
she's any more inspired. Okay. Whew.
Yeah, you
Ooh.
keep your
Ooh,
all your mental
inspired.
stats.
More inspired. 19's got to be better than 10.
As you look over these inscriptions in this skull, you're not really sure specifically what they do, but you can get the general sense that it has to do with some sort of conjuration type magic. And it seems that the horns themselves are the focal point of whatever activation this might be. It seems that all of the runes are kind of rotating around these horns that extend up out of the skull.
Can I whack it?
If you want to, you can make
Can
me
I
an
bite
attack
it?
roll.
The horns are special. Something about conjuring?
What's using? What would you conjure with a cow skull?
Well, what would you summon with a table? I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Halfling, apparently.
A halfling.
Heavy bovine warriors.
Yeah,
No.
if you would like to roll me an attack roll, either Avi or Zannah, you certainly can, or Ari.
Hang
That
on.
sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, it's a bad idea. I like to let the dice make some decisions for my characters.
You know what? I approve.
The wisdom save to decide if my unwise character does something dumb.
So, may
So
I
far, he's doing
suggest
pretty good.
we go check out the other door.
Yeah, seems like a good idea.
Oh, no, I still go lick it.
Oh,
Are you licking it or are you biting it?
I'm gonna lick it. Because I realized biting was bad, but we're still not smart.
Okay. Which one?
I mean,
the north one or the one to
So
the
it's
east?
a popsicle.
We'll go to the one that I already... The heavy bovine smell one.
Okay, heavy bovine smell. Alright, so Zannah, you kind of wander into this silo and kind of sniff it against the skull once more and kind of try and see if there's anything, and kind of not sensing anything new. You're like, I know what'll do it. You just kind of extend out a long tongue and just lick up the side of this horn, and as you do, everyone else in the pasture, you see as the sky begins to slightly darken, the wooden door on the outside slams shut, and there is a distant moo that can be heard.
a distant moo.
A distant moo.
Are we about to fight a dire cow?
Not exactly. As you guys look
Not
out into this
exactly.
pasture, you can see a figure that is somewhat shimmering in shape as it kind of seems to jump forward closer. And then jumps forward again as it shifts and moves on the edge. You kind of look towards it and it's still behind this force field on the edge of your perception. As it shifts closer, you can see a large bovine-like face with large horns extending out and a massive axe in one hand, and it shifts
Oh.
forward
dear.
once more, and you find yourselves looking face to face with a massive cow-like figure that is just eyes wild with rage and swinging this axe wildly as it shifts and moves in random directions. And I'm going to have everybody go ahead and roll me some initiative.
I'm
To
sorry,
answer your
guys.
question, Ari, this is what you can conjure, apparently.
It would seem. Ooh.
Lesson learned. Don't lick it.
Oh, sometimes.
Don't lick, don't
Sometimes you
bite,
just
don't
have to
touch.
lick.
I just hope it doesn't want to eat me for dinner. There's some screaming.
That's iCarly, sorry.
I thought it was.
What a time.
And
The kid was
What a
watching
time.
it.
Sam, is Joe still there? Is he able to roll initiative, or do I need to roll for him?
No.
He'll go. Yeah,
I'll
he's
pop
got
in.
it.
Okay. No worries, no worries.
So, is our new halfling as used to combat as our old halfling?
We'll
How
see,
useful
won't we?
was your old halfling?
He was a bard. An eloquence bard.
Glera,
He's more for talking.
as you see, as this figure is approaching rapidly and it apparates right into the center of all of you, you have the jump on it first. What would you like to do?
I will make my first attack with a hand crossbow if I can. This
can.
right here. Okay. Yes.
And
'cause
it
I
does
guess
seem
that
to
is a
be
thing.
slightly disoriented from all the shifting movement, so you can go ahead and make it at advantage.
Woohoo! I like having the jump on things. Okay, so and then since it's my first turn, I can make a second attack.
Yes. So you
Cool.
can make 2
Oh,
at
and I didn't
advantage.
even click the. Sorry, I have to do it this way.
That's alright. 24 and a 20, I believe both of those will hit. Yes, they both do hit.
Sweet. And then that had another thing on it. If that attack hits, that target takes an extra 1d8. So I will roll that separately.
Nice. So 16 plus another 7. Very nice.
Okay.
As you do
I would like
23
to
damage this.
move myself back out of the ways a little bit. And that will be all for me, I believe. Oh, I did the dumb, and I forgot that I was supposed to cast Hunter's Mark as a bonus action for things, but I'll get that next turn.
All good. Yeah, as you pull out these 2 crossbows, just quickly firing off shots from them, they just cut into the shoulders of this creature who just roars out and bellows forward. Zannah, you still next to this cow skull. What are you doing?
Look it again.
Gonna...
Look at it again. Stick with the bit.
Would licking count as my action for this turn?
I think licking should be a free action.
I'm gonna say yes. Licking would, like,
Oh.
if you want to to concentrate on licking this thing, that is gonna take your action.
Okay, I'm not gonna lick it. I'll come
Aw.
join the battle.
All right, as you move away from the cow skull, you all watch as the Minotaur creature shimmers and disappears.
Oh. Well,
Okay.
interesting.
I will say that Zannah and Ari, you do notice that as this creature was moving rapidly, it was difficult to see, but it seemed that attached on its neck hung a single white ivory key.
Well, shit. Go lick it
Go lick it.
again.
Okay. I'm gonna drop back in and lick it again.
It had a key. I think that might come in handy.
Zannah, you kind of walk out, and Ari's like, "No, go back and lick it again." You come back in, and using your action to once again just draw the long wolf tongue up across this horn of this cow skull. You all see similar as the sky darkens once more. The shifting figure comes forward, and the Minotaur apparates once more. This time you don't see the crossbow bolts that Glera had previously fired into it, as it seems healthy and rejuvenated.
Well, that's good.
Uh-oh.
Glad it feels great.
Ari,
Well, I'm gonna go whack him.
whack away. Once again, it still seems discombobulated by the movement, so your attacks will be at advantage. So go ahead and roll me one more. And that one will hit.
Oh yes.
As you
And,
swing just this blade into the Minotaur, it hasn't quite gotten the chance to get its ground, and you just cut across its chest.
And now I'm gonna push it.
Alright. Yeah, you kind of shove your shield into its chest, and it's still kind of wobbly, and it gets knocked down onto its backside as its hooves come up, and its horns go back in towards hitting the invisible force field at the edge of your perception here. Anything else? Any movement?
No. I
Alright,
think me keeping him there is good for the team.
Valcrie.
Valkyrie's gonna take a step back just to be sure, and she will see if her Eldritch Blast wants to work today.
That will hit.
Nice. Okay. For 2!
Rip. Soul for a D10 cantrip.
So as you send
think-
out this just
Got it.
bolt of fiery force from your staff, it just slams into the cow-like creature's shoulder, but his thick hide resists most of it. But it does 2 damage, which is solid. You feel good about yourself.
She's just glad she hit. So.
And Elias, it is your turn.
Yeah.
It has not
hasn't
hit Ari.
attacked yet. That's my injury from the lightning ball.
Yep. On Ari?
Oh, thanks.
Alright. So Elias extends out his staff towards you, Ari, and you watch as these blue ethereal shields begin to cover your body. Or armor, rather. And that will increase your AC by 2, bringing it up to 21. Very nice. And then this Minotaur begins to kind of stand up once again, kind of recovering from the blow that you did before. Oh, that is a bonus action. My apologies. So that'll be a dexterity.
Sacred lame. Would he have disadvantage for being prone or not? I don't remember if prone does that. I can look it up.
Doesn't matter in this instance, as it automatically rolls that. So yeah, as you launch out this flame towards him, as he's still kind of laying on his backside, the flames do kind of wrap up his arm, and you can go ahead and roll me damage. In the meanwhile, this creature stands up and kind of... very nice. Stands up and begins to swing his large axe at Ari in front of him. And that will indeed miss as he just kind of swings it over towards you. It gets caught and deflected by Elias's ethereal armor and just kind of skitters across as it lands down in the sod, and the creature picks up the axe once more and just kind of breathes out this heavy, acrid smelling breath in your face, Ari, facing off towards you. But it is Glira's turn once again.
Well, it's sticking around, but it disappeared last time, so I'm going to wait to cast Hunter's Mark so I don't lose that, and just do a crossbow attack. Ooh, well.
It is still at advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, this poor cow.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll me damage. Yeah, as you fire another crossbow bolt, this one clearly sticks into his stomach as he gives a bellow out. As you do another 5 points of piercing. Zannah, what are you doing?
I don't know if I should lick it again or just not move.
I say lick it again.
But would that summon a second one?
Well, there's one way to find out. We know we can get rid of both of them.
True. Alright, I guess I'm gonna lick it again.
You give another lick across the edge of the horn. Nothing especially seems to happen.
Okay.
Cool.
Alright. End of turn.
Alright, that brings us back to Ari.
Am I advantaged?
You are.
Whack.
That'll hit. 7. All right. And are you
Push.
trying to push it prone? All right.
Yeah, I didn't mean to have that at advantage, but that's okay.
All right. As you kind of slice into it once again, cutting a small gash into its side this time. You kind of push your shield forward once again, but the creature just extends out a hand and grabs the shield and kind of pulls it up and off of your arm, tossing it to the ground in front of you.
Oh.
Kind of breathing out in your face.
Wait, I am de-shielded?
You have been de-shielded.
Oh, that's sad.
Anything else that you would like to do, Ari?
No, that's about all I got.
All right, that'll bring us to Valcrie.
Yeah. I think we will try. Mm. Oh. I think we're just gonna try Witch Bolt again, because that was fun.
Oh, all right.
So a DC 13.
No, it's a ranged spell attack. So roll me a d20 plus proficiency plus your charisma, and it is at advantage.
Well, here, let me just do this.
Hey, there we go.
There we go. Wait, add
24
advantage.
24 definitely does
one.
hit, though, so go ahead and roll me that.
But crits.
10's a lot better. We'll take
Yeah.
a 10.
As you just send out from your staff this crackling bolt of lightning that wraps around the Minotaur, his back arches as he gives a large moo out in anguish as the lightning wraps into him, and that definitely seemed to hurt him quite a bit.
Large and boo.
Also, wait, real quick. So that was only 1 d12. I forgot that everything has to be at 2 d12, so I actually have to roll that again. Because it is a spell, so they're all rolled at 2nd level.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Warlock
So let me do it one more
confused
time.
and frightened me.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh yeah, that definitely hurt him. That is quite the anguished moo.
I think
Could you
Archi, got her electrified.
could you voice act the anguishing moo?
Anybody want burgers later?
Yes. It's not a happy camper. Anything else, Valcrie?
No, she's very pleased with herself, actually.
All right, that brings us back to Elias. Oh, there we go. Okay. You have an angry Minotaur facing off against Ari, who you have accommodated for the shield. Okay, Shillelagh and Swing, go ahead and roll me that attack. As you kind of step forward up here next to Ari. We'll put you like right there. You are still at advantage, so go ahead and give me one more roll. Oh,
Oof.
Yeah, as you kind of swing out, once again, the Minotaur with his axe in one hand just kind of reaches up and grabs the quarterstaff and kind of tosses it back at you, kind of throwing you off balance a little bit, but you're able to just recover it. Thankfully, the Minotaur is still a little bit off as it seems to be kind of shifting, its form not fully there. But that does not hit, unfortunately. Anything else? Okay, then that brings it to its turn. It is going to look at the newcomer and just give a large kind of roar out, and it is going to swing. It's just going to, yeah, we'll still have it swing in with the battle axe, just trying to cleave into this individual. And I don't believe that hits. Once again, just kind of crunching down, but your armor deflects most of the blow. There's a small dent in the armor, but most of it skates the battle axe across. And It did not get... Oh, it grabbed the shield when he tried to use it. It didn't get through. No, your spell still seems to be active. But yes, as it swings out its battle axe towards you, it does not seem to connect with you either. And that'll bring us back to Glera.
Woohoo! Really liking my spot back here in the corner. I just get to fire 2 more crossbow shots, 1 regular and 1 with the bow. And I'm finally gonna remember to click advantage. Jeez.
Hey!
Hey!
Both of those will hit.
Woot.
Very
See,
nice.
I feel pressure to live up to this other halfling now.
You're acquitting
You're doing
yourself
great.
nicely. You've done damage, so that's a big upgrade.
That's a big plus.
You give 2 quick shots, 1 from each crossbow. 1 goes into the neck of this creature, and the other cuts straight into the eye as it is just tearing around in a blind rage. It begins to just rush forward retaliatory, and it is going to move through Ari and kind of rushing across the pasture, just kind of trying to get towards anything.
Can I opportunity attack or strength check it to
technically
not let it move through me?
Large enough. This will be a contested strength check, so go ahead and roll me a strength check. Or athletics check, rather. Okay. All right.
I know Cal's strong, but Cal can't just run for free.
So as it begins to rush towards you, Ari, you kind of lift up, grabbing and putting your weight into it, not having your shield. You kind of push it off track as it doesn't pass by you, but crunches over the trough and rushes in towards the wall instead. However, it is large enough that I don't believe you get an attack of opportunity since it hasn't technically left your range. However, it has for Elias. So Elias, if you want to make an attack at advantage. And
Boom.
that will hit. And this is as he's moving. So Elias, how do you want to do this? Actually, if you want to give me a description. Big ol' boom. Yeah. As it just begins to rush out in a rage, you just kind of swing out this now ethereal flail off the end of your staff that wraps around the creature's head and just crunches in the skull before a thunderous boom just as it implode, leaving the creature as it tumbles down and hits the turf. And the key, now not having much of a head to keep held, begins to spiral off into the grass. But the creature is no more. Well, it is still there, but it is no longer moving.
Well,
Guess we should get the key.
yep. Can I get the key?
Yeah, you walk over and you pick up, it seems to be a small white ivory key.
Neat. I will make a note of that somewhere.
And now there's a distinct putrid smell of the dead minotaur just kind of wafting into the area. But as you kind of grab the key from off its neck, the door to the alleyway does once again open up for you all. Zannah, are you still licking the cow skull?
No, I learned my lesson.
Do you think a second one appears if you lick the other cow skull?
There's only one way to find out.
Well,
I mean, do you want to find out?
I mean,
Well, what if there's 2 keys?
it literally did not hit any of us, so...
Alright.
It may not be a bad idea.
Licking skull number 2.
Alright, as you lick the skull number 2, once again the doorway shuts behind you, the sky begins to darken, and a figure appears, rapidly growing out of the distance. And now you see as a second minotaur, this time from the opposite side, apparates with a large roar, and we'll kind of swing out towards Elias. One once again, your armor just taking the brunt of it. You can feel the force behind the attack, but it just slides down into the turf. Are any of you doing anything in response?
Is there such thing as like a whatever the fuck, attack of opportunity for a cantrip?
You have to have a feat for that.
Yes.
Right.
Zannah, are you continuing
Then
to lick
I'm
the
good.
skull?
I'm just gonna sit here.
Yeah. He yells to let it go away, then I will keep licking the skull.
Minotaur aren't Fey or Fiend, are they?
They are not.
Okay, I didn't think so.
In that case, we will have everybody roll me some initiative once more.
Exciting. Oh, I didn't click on myself. Hold up. That's better. There you go.
Alright, Elias, Valcrie, Glera, Ari. We're missing Zannah.
It's not letting me click on myself.
Rip.
I'm gonna guess my internet is being shitty, so we'll try this. Just
Hey,
didn't
it
do
worked.
anything. Okay.
Alright. So as it comes in and tries to make an attack on Elias, Glera, once again, you are ready and waiting for this figure. And you are up first.
I was ready since I asked if it was going to make another one. All right, and now I have finished understanding my character sheet. So I make 2 crossbow attacks as part of my first action, and then 1 as a bonus action. Oh wait, do we still have the
Correct.
advantage
You
thing?
do still have advantage,
Yeah.
but that one goes
That didn't
wide.
matter.
The first one launches into the stone wall, or into this
I was too
force
hyped.
field of the wall, as it's still moving. You kind of fired it before it was even properly in place, and it just seemed to phase, not quite properly phase in, but the second 2 land firmly in the chest of this creature. And you can go ahead and roll me damage on those 2. The
Alright.
second one does
And the
have your
one-
bonus damage.
Yep.
So that'll be 15 plus an extra 8.
Woo!
Holy smokes, Sam!
Go, girl. Killing it.
Okay,
Where are all these attacks coming from? I am confused.
all right, and then it will be the creature once more. And this time it is going to give a gruff kind of stomp of its feet, and it's going to charge forward at the creature who is shooting it with all of these bolts. And
Uh-oh.
let's see.
Brother Elias, whack it while it runs.
Yes, Elias, you can give me an attack of opportunity as I pull this thing back
Don't
up.
you mean a whack of opportunity?
I do mean a whack of opportunity. You're so right. And
It's the little
I
thing.
need a strength check from Glera.
That is not one of my strong suits. Just a check.
Pun intended?
Woohoo! Oh, man.
Oh,
That doesn't count.
Oh.
Yeah, so as this
Aw.
creature rushes towards you, a 14 does just hit, Joe. Thank you. As this creature rushes towards you, and you hear a pop as Elias's flail cracks across the creature's back and a small explosion behind it. But these horns do catch into you, and you're going to take. Let's see here. You're going to take 7 points of piercing damage, and you're knocked prone. And this creature is going to swing down towards you with his large axe. Oh my god.
That bad, huh?
It's not a good sign.
Oh no.
That's bad. That's really bad.
Austin, you could have just said you didn't like our character idea. We didn't have to go.
You don't have to.
Oh no.
Oh.
You all watch as this poor little halfling gets her head just clean cut right off. And you watch
What?
as the head just begins to roll across the floor.
Oh.
As it it is going to do 43 points of slashing damage with a natural 20. So I'm so sorry.
Horribly graphic.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
I think that is that is 30. Well.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Hey,
Was not expecting.
Hang on, I've got an
Awkward
idea.
one now.
No,
Oh,
I don't
this
have
is
any good
not the
ideas
idea.
here.
Oh
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that's rough.
Elias, as you see this Minotaur just graphically decapitate this small, poor, innocent halfling, what are you doing?
dear. Oh my god.
Alright, give me another attack, still at advantage. Alright, spirit weapon with bonus action. Those will both hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
We have so many tools to save unconscious creatures, too.
It just... It's,
Just not
That was-
beheading.
I mean, 42 damage would come close to insta-gibbing me.
it was almost like it was such high damage on all 4 dice rolls. Like, oh my gosh.
I
Was not
wasn't
expecting that. I'm so sorry, Sam. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, as both of these cleave in, Elias just kind of roaring out in response, kind of charges forward, pulling up an ethereal flail to match his own weapon as both strike into the back of this creature, carving into it, and dealing 17 points of damage. Anything else, Elias? All right, that brings us to Zannah. Zannah, you're in the other room, and you have your tongue around this cow skull, and just watch in horror as this massive creature charges forward and just decapitates this small humanoid. What are you doing?
Well, I don't know if I should let everybody get revenge on him, or if I just need to step
Yep, we
away.
want revenge.
Okay, I will stay as I am.
All right, Valcrie.
Damn, and you already had a drawing. Wow.
Oh. She's so
I
cute.
feel so
I'm so
bad.
sorry. Also, just. Okay.
Maybe
So,
Claire has a twin.
what? Yeah, named Clara. And so Clara. And they're kind of the same. Okay. I don't know. I mean,
This creature is now right in front of you, Valcrie, just breathing heavily, its axe bloodied as it just gives you this stare of wild fury.
uh-huh. That's great.
This picture is Austin right now.
Does anyone want to take care of that for me? Because if he does that, I'm dead too. Oh, God. I
mean,
know.
I'm
I don't
just
even have a chance
spitballing
to
here,
think.
but like, there's a disengage action, and then running
Yeah, but then
away.
I can't do anything.
You know what's better than not doing anything?
Not dying, I get it.
Yeah. I learned this as a wizard very early.
No. But see, what was the thing you said? Mama didn't raise no bitch?
Here's the thing. That's my tanky character's thing. We don't need it with a squishy, tiny little warlock. We don't need that.
All right,
One is enough.
Valcrie, what are we doing here?
Oh. Okay, can I... Hold on. Let me double check something. No, that's an action. I'm trying to see if there's anything I can do as a bonus action, so I can still disengage, but then do something that could, in theory, be kind of helpful. At least for myself, if not for other people.
I think your staff has a bonus action, right?
I believe it does. I'm just trying to go through everything else first, too.
Action reattach
Okay.
the head.
God.
I unfortunately, I don't have that ability. I know that for a fact. Let me open up this guy. Let me see. Yes, I can. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. So, we're gonna have action disengage. We're gonna get the fuck to the other corner. Be like, fuck no. And we can use the little, shit, where'd it go? The little starlight thing on my staff. So we're gonna try and hit it with starlight and Sailor Moon magic.
All right, that is at advantage.
Oh, and at advantage?
That will hit.
Okay, well, it still hit.
Does still
And
hit.
it's just one. Got 10 radiant.
You send out this shooting
hit,
star that emanates from the tip of your staff, just spiraling towards this creature and slams into the back of their head as they try to follow you as you quickly dodge around them. But it still stands. Ari.
I would like to rush over here and can Elias, having booped it in the butt, give me advantage, or do I already have advantage?
You already have advantage from it.
Okay, so I'm gonna bonus action compel duel so that it hopefully doesn't go beat up somebody else. And then I'm going to whack it.
All right, as you try and draw it in with your magic, its eyes seem locked onto Valcrie, but luckily you're able to use this to your advantage and kind of cut into it with your sword and slice against the shoulder. Go and roll me damage.
Whew.
All right.
That's
You love
good.
it. And then, yeah, I already used my bonus action, so yeah.
All right. Then that is going to bring us to the Minotaur's turn as it looks towards Valcrie, who has rushed away. It sees Elias in its path, and it is going to try and cleave through Elias first, swinging out with its great axe just with this wild fury. It will cut in. This time you feel the weakened metal start to cave in as the axe pushes through the metal, and your shield is not able to get there fast enough. Elias, you're going to take 18 slashing damage. Okay, it still would hit with that reaction, despite that reaction. Much unfortunate.
Oh.
It was swinging at advantage from reckless, and so you made it neutral. But so it was just 120 plus. But yes, but you will take 18 slashing points as this thing just is a ball of wild, reckless fury as it cuts into you. But it is your turn, as you're not quite down yet. The first one will hit. Go ahead and roll me damage as the ethereal flail kind of swings out, but this creature is now just moving so rapidly it just crashes against the edge of this force field, bouncing off harmlessly. However, you are focused on this creature and it on you, and you're able to cut up, cleaving along its arm for another 7 bludgeoning damage. And at least for the moment, it still stands, though it is bloody and beaten, and is now like a cornered animal just trying to kill anything in its path. Zannah, still holding on to the skull? Or licking the skull?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
You're all good. That'll bring us back to Valcrie then.
I don't know. They're a bad. And they seem stronger than the other one, unless the other one just didn't get to do shit. So, oh god. Why is it so difficult? We are going to try Ray of Sickness. And hopefully make him sicky. But that's
You
only a
are still at
12.
advantage.
Oh, good.
So give me one more roll.
No, not good.
You send this
12.
ray out, but the unsettling visage of the poor halfling on the ground, the grass steadily turning red, it's just, you can't look at it and you kind of turn away and the ray passes harmlessly over the creature's shoulder. Any bonus action or movement?
I was trying to make him feel as sick as we feel. I guess YOLO. We'll just try to hit it with the Sailor Moon power again. And just finish my charges.
It's still at advantage.
Is that still advantage?
Yep,
Okay.
and that will hit.
Okay. There we go. For 8, I'll take it.
Valcrie, how would you like to do this?
Can I make his head fly off with a star?
Certainly,
like imagine, like a shuriken, just go.
Yeah, as you just send out this mote of starlight, it seems to flatten out like a blade and just goes right through the neck of this creature as the second head drops down to the ground and the creature falls motionless down to the floor.
Okay.
Does he have anything on him?
You look over him, you don't see a key. If you would like to make an investigation or perception check to try and see anything on him, you can.
Valcrie is willing to assist, if that helps.
Did not mean to have advantage, but yeah.
With Valcrie's assistance, you both look over this, and once again, it's right next to the body of this other person who you had just come to know, and it's a bit difficult to look at, and you don't quite catch anything, the sight of anything.
Oh, well. We have a key. That's it.
You do have a key. Ari holds on to this now heavily weighted key with the events that have transpired. You didn't know her for long, but she seemed a nice individual, and it's a bit harrowing. And being in the same room is a bit uncomfortable, to be certain. But you do have this white ivory key for whatever good it should do.
Well, I suppose we should take her to the temple and at least get her buried.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Do we try to find the bracelet and then come back?
I don't really trust this location for that.
I also think it's a bad idea to split up considering what just happened. So I
Yeah.
don't think we should split either.
Yes.
Also,
yes.
never split the party. But cough.
Um.
Do we have anything we can put her remains in and like strap to my back?
We have rope, but that's not in anything.
What's the respectful way to carry someone's head?
If we didn't like the person on a spike, but
I said respectful.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't
Jesus
prepared to make this decision already.
Christ.
It is certainly a bit shocking, and you look around, you don't really have much that you can find that would be able to carry a head or the body. You're not quite sure what the best way to get this person out is, and even how quickly you could do so.
Well, let's see what I got in my inventory here. I don't know, the decapitation makes the body transport a lot more
Gruesome.
confusing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
You could always try and see if you can exit to come back and bring someone or something. Alternatively, you could try and look for something here that might be able to carry her remains.
Yeah, how's the trough?
The trough is a pretty large wooden trough. Currently, it's filled with water. It's kind of actually, with the Minotaur kind of charging through it, it's kind of tipped over on its side, so a lot of the water has kind of has kind of been dumped out. But it's a good 10, 12 foot long wooden trough. It definitely looks more than capable of carrying her, but it's pretty heavy and would take at least two of you to carry.
Yeah, let's dump out the rest of the water in the trough and put the body and head in there as best as we can to make it not look horribly decapitated.
Super gruesome.
Yeah.
We can always give her a scarf.
We could cover the top of the trough or something.
Yeah. We should probably do that anyway.
Yeah. Anybody have anything convenient to cover it with? I'd rather not use my bedroll.
We've got grass.
I don't think.
We've got grass.
I'll just put my kind of wedge my shield in the top so that it covers the head and neck region, and it probably will actually cover most of the chest and down to the waist because halflings are small.
Okay, so you kind of dump out the rest of the remaining water and kind of tip back up the trough and kind of gather the body as best you can, trying to stay clear of most of the blood, and kind of set it within the trough. And setting your shield over it does cover most of the head and body.
Hey, Brother Elias, help me carry this out. Alright.
Alright, you and Elias each grab a side of the trough and begin to kind of make your way back across the alley. And
Making our way downtown.
Gosh.
Walking fast, carrying a dead halfling, and we're homebound.
I never thought that song would be so dark.
Yeah.
So you guys just headed straight out?
Oh.
Are you leaving the trough somewhere, or are you just taking it straight out of the alley for somewhere else?
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think?
Do we know where the nearest temple is? Because the temple we went to was way down south last time.
It's all the way on the opposite side. You guys would have seen
Yeah.
some large cathedral type buildings not too far away, slightly to the west, and Elias knows that the halls of justice are one of those. So kind of to the west, maybe a 10-15 minute walk, but walking with a massive trough, even with the shield over it, is going to draw some attention. Though you might not be stopped by individuals, the guards would certainly take interest.
I mean, I don't think we're really trying to be super secretive. We're just trying to get the body to a good place for bodies to go.
Okay, so are you guys going to try and take her out of the alley into one of these temples?
I suppose.
All right. So as you kind of begin to lug this large trough with this body out of the alleyway, you find no resistance. You make your way back through the entryway and past the guest book. And what's everyone's passive perception, out of curiosity?
11.
Utter shit. Ooh, really? My passive is 12.
13.
13. Okay, so yeah,
Oh,
you guys,
14, sorry.
You guys all begin to sort of exit out of the alleyway, and as you're kind of leaving, Zannah, you think it's probably best to go in a human form if you're going to go walking around the city, and you might need to help. And you kind of shift back, and as you pass the mural right towards the entrance, you do see, just catch a glimpse in a corner of what looks like a small halfling being attacked by a large bull-like creature.
Oh, damn it. So it is real.
But you all do make your way out of the alleyway, and as you begin to travel across the city from Blue Alley, making your way to one of the nearby temples, and kind of taking a southwestern direction, Elias is able to lead you to the Halls of Justice, a large cathedral-like temple where, as you guys are making your way to down south of the road, you all are stopped. There does seem to be a watch post nearby, and two guards kind of begin to come your direction as they kind of see you carrying this. What exactly is going on here? What is... And they kind of catch sight of what's inside. Is that a body?
Aye, it is.
Can you explain what that's doing here and what you all are doing with it?
Well, we were in the what's the name? The blue alley.
Yep.
Yeah, we were in the blue alley, and this halfling just popped into a room we were in, and decided to come with us. We were looking for a bracelet that's in there, and we went into a different room, and this minotaur appeared, and well, this happened.
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check at advantage, Ari.
I can read.
He kind of looks down. I see. So you all tried to take on Blue Alley. Well, you're not the first to come back and with one less companion. Are you trying to get them buried then?
Aye.
Very well. Continue on. They'll do the rites at the temple. And take it from there. My condolences. They kind of step back and allow you all to continue on as you make your way to the Halls of Justice, a large stone and iron cathedral. Bringing this trough in and kind of setting it by the doorway. Elias, you are well familiar with this place, and quickly call over some of your companions that you know are aligned with the three faces of war, even if they aren't necessarily the true brotherhood. They are more than accommodating for the situation. As you all kind of stand around this halfling that you had only just met, kind of taking a moment of silence, the priests gather. They kind of look at you all. Would any of you like to say any words over this individual? Did you know the deceased well?
We had just met her.
Well, very well, then I will say what words I can and hope to guide her on. Minotaur, well, we shall certainly have to inscribe that upon the gravestone then. Did any of you know her name? Clara. Well, sovereigns, we call to you this day to shine your light down on us as we mourn the passing of young Clara, taken from this world too soon. We ask that as you guide her to the afterlife, bringing her soul to the seven heavens, that you continue to give us the strength of Dol Dorn to continue on, the wisdom of the sovereign Orion to understand and grieve, and that the light of Dolara carries her soul through to the next world. The will of the sovereigns be done. He makes an intricate symbol across his chest as he gives a nod to you all. We will take her to be buried in the city of the dead. Do you have any request or know of any family that she had?
I didn't know her well enough to know.
Unfortunately, that is too often the case. But we shall do our best with her. She is in good hands here. Luckily, within the city, we have places for lost souls. She will be buried at Road's End, a place for strangers and travelers. It is a small tomb within the city of the dead. Should any of you wish to see her, she will be there. But you can leave this to us. Thank you for bringing her in, so that her soul does not wander. As the priests begin to gather the trough and take her back into a separated area of the halls of justice, specifically for preparing bodies, you all are left isolated and still processing what had happened. It all shifted so fast. What had seemed to be a relatively trivial encounter had suddenly resulted in the death of this individual that, despite barely knowing, you can't help feeling a connection to. But you all are still left here, now determining what to do next. And if that is, I guess, how is everyone else feeling? Would you like to take a week to process? I know this was a bit of a unexpected turn. Or is there anything unfinished that the rest of you have before we close out this week's chapter?
I mean, out of character, I'm good to keep playing, but if y'all wanna call it early, that's fine too. In character, yeah, I don't think we want to go back there tonight.
All right. So as you all kind of uncertain of where else to go, kind of wander to the one place that feels somewhat like home, kind of continue to travel down. Elias seems particularly struck by the death and seems to hit him quite hard. He offers to stay and help and assist with the passing. The rest of you all make your way towards the Yawning Portal, finding a place to get a well-needed drink and some rest. You all spend the evening doing just that, talking and discussing your travel, speaking with Durnan and other adventurers as you share the tale of the brave halfling and begin to determine what exactly you have next. Unfortunately, as you look around, you don't seem to see Davil anywhere. And uncertain of how to deal with your unfinished quest or the other options that lie to you, as you sit around this table, the three of you, Zannah, Valcrie, and Ari, what would you all like to do?
Do I see my buddy Novus? You guys call him Noah Scott, but Novus Scott.
Yes, it is Novus, Scott. You do in fact see Novus. He's kind of off to a corner by himself, and you see once again the stack of papers as he's writing furiously.
So I'll sip my drink a little and probably go over and see if he has some tales from his book that might cheer me up.
So you kind of sip your drink and go over and sit next to him. Oh, certainly. I am currently writing a story about the reign of the Machine Knights. It is a wondrous tale. It's all about, it's about this group of adventurers brought from different worlds to battle against these mechanical-like constructs or semi-constructs. They were wonderful knights once, and they've been corrupted by this metallic instance, but the heroes have come and they battle against these knights of this round table, corrupted by this mechanical entity, and they begin to win back the country as they travel across, making friends and enemies as they go, fighting against each of these knights and winning victory after victory until they confront the king and find that the king has grown weary. His knights have grown tired, and now that their spirits have been laid to rest, he is looking to pass on the torch. And he gifts this kingdom to another adventurer. But I haven't quite decided where the story goes from there.
Dang, that's quite the story. How far is this into where you want things to go?
Well, I'm not quite sure. I find the world interesting, but it seems to be missing something. I want to finish this book, but I think a change might be necessary before I write a full series. I'm thinking I keep some of the elemental aspects, some of the deities that I enjoy, but I'd like to put a spin on it, focus on that perhaps in my next work.
Very interesting.
And what about you? Do you have any ideas of where I could take the story? What I might be able to add to it?
Honestly, not at the moment. It's been a pretty rough couple of days. Just kind of hoping that you had some interesting tale like this to tell to take my mind off of things.
I know how that is. It's tough to see. Life has a way of friends coming and going at times, but the stories that we pass on are really what keep us together. In fact, the story that I'm writing, it's an homage to a character, or rather, a friend that I once knew. He was a very lively fellow, and so I've represented him as a bard in the story by the name of Timna. Kind of an eccentric character who wanted little more than to find peace for himself. And he traveled with this group for a good portion of their adventures, far into the realm and fighting off different deities and infiltrating a cult of ice and snow. He found love there. A cultist or a woman who had been swayed by the cult. Her mind had been infected, and he took it upon himself to remedy that infection. He's not exactly seduced her, but wooed her rather, courted her, brought her away from the court, and at that point he realized that there was more to the world that he wanted. And he was unfortunately had to say goodbye to his companions. Just as the man had to say goodbye to myself and to our other friends. I know he's out there somewhere, and I hope it is for the best, but I have not seen him in some time. But the story of Temn will live on in his memory.
That sounds like quite a life he lived.
Indeed, indeed. We must honor the stories of those that we have met. Continue to pass on their tales.
Well, if you want to honor our friend in your book, perchance, she was a halfling that was a dual crossbow wielding halfling. Quite the little fighter.
Fascinating. She well wielded one in each hand.
She did.
And can you tell me about this halfling? Anything that you know about her, or her deeds, or any way that I could write about her?
Well, she kind of appeared out of nowhere to us. We were traveling through Blue Alley, actually, not too far from here. And we were, well, there was this room, and she says she was in the tavern and then suddenly stumbled upon us, and we were in Blue Alley and looking into a room and suddenly stumbled upon her. And despite the fact that I was a dire wolf at the time and rather intimidating looking, she decided to join our team and go on our battles with us.
That is quite the introduction. I'm sure she was quite spectacular indeed.
Indeed she was.
I will make sure to have some way of honoring your companion. She seems noble.
I believe she was. Thank you.
Thank you for the stories. You said your name was Zannah, yes?
Yes.
Well, anytime you have stories to tell, I'm always happy to share. I love a good tale, and I love a good hero.
Well, I shan't keep you. Thank you for talking.
Have a good evening, Zannah.
You as well. And go back to the group of folks.
Alright. The rest of you sit around this table, kind of planning out where to go or what to do next, uncertain if you should attempt the alley again, or if you should look towards another goal, or perhaps abandon the quest altogether.
Where's that, Davil?
You look around and you don't seem to see him in the tavern at the moment.
What time is it, by the way?
At this point, it is pretty late in the evening. You all had headed towards Blue Alley pretty early on, but now it's from the time that you've spent in there and the time that you've traveled across the city and the time that you spent at the temple, it's now probably about 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening.
Well, truthfully, I'd be surprised if he'd go home already. Perhaps he's off finding another group.
Or on a rescue mission.
Perhaps. Well, I must say that was something.
Ari is gonna get sad drunk now.
Oh.
Start chugging them.
as Ari kind of takes a few drinks to try and numb some of the events. Valcrie and Zannah, are you doing anything?
I might.
Valkyrie is noticeably not drinking anything. Maybe like a water or like a juice or something, but she does not drink.
Interesting. And what were you saying, Zannah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was gonna say I might go check in with the healer to see if she knew where Davil went.
Sure, you kind of see Tyrus kind of still sitting around, kind of sipping a few things and finishing up a dinner. And as you kind of sit down and inquire with her, she looks back at you, responding, I actually haven't seen Davil in some time today. Usually he finds his way here either early in the morning, or at least by noon, and stays until, almost midnight most evenings. Perhaps he had an errand around town. He should be back by tomorrow.
Okay, so you aren't worried about him or anything? Just, does he do this ever? Just not really show up?
It depends on the time and the day, I suppose. Davil is a regular around the tavern, but he's not always there every day.
Okay. Also, I should ask, do you know of any magic that would allow one to, well, reattach someone's head?
There are certain magics that can do such a thing, though they are quite powerful in nature. Oftentimes they are powerful clerics or entities such as yourself that use natural magic to bring someone back to life, though I know they have limits. I must apologize, I'm not quite familiar with that extent of magic, but if you would... Sorry. If you would like, I can try and put you in touch with a priest. There might be someone who could assist you, though I imagine it would be quite expensive. I believe that most of the rituals need pure gemstones, such as diamonds.
Oh. Okay, well, thank you for the information, but for now, I don't think I need to get in touch with anybody. I just figured I'd ask.
Of course, my dear. If you have any other questions, I'm always happy to answer them. As best as I can, anyway.
Well, thank you. And I'll go back to the group again.
Ari and Valkyrie, you guys still just sitting at the table, or is there anything that you guys are discussing or mentioning?
That is a good question.
How many beers do you think Ari's been able to crush in the past like half hour? I would say he's probably at least through 4. Probably 5.
Alright, go ahead and roll me a con save at disadvantage. We'll see just how far you get.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
not right.
I mean, he's being really efficient about it.
You are being quite efficient, and your head is swimming, for good or bad, and you feel a slight sickness in your stomach starting to come on.
Oh yeah. Can we have taken a short rest in this?
Yes, as
Oh,
you guys
yes,
have
please.
taken this time, you have certainly completed a short rest, if you would like.
Hey, that got me to exactly full HP. How
That-
convenient.
Nice.
Good job, hit die. If only you could have been there. Someone
Yes?
else. Someone else needed 8 HP more.
Alright.
Zannah, you're still all, sparky. Why are you still sparky?
Sparky? What do you
You mean
mean?
Valkyrie the Sparky?
Sorry, Valcrie. I
He's-
Is this
misread.
the drunk talking?
He's drunk.
It works.
So pink blur versus kind of like
Yeah.
greenish drought blur.
Yeah. Valcrie, why are you still sparky?
Well, I haven't really touched anyone to discharge. May I poke you?
Do it!
Come here. On a scale of 1 to N, how healthy are you at the healthiest, and how healthy are you now?
You can
Me?
roll. You can roll hit dice if you would like, Valkyrie. You've had a short rest.
Yeah, but I also realize we're like about to have a long rest eventually.
So
So I'm wondering if it's really even worth it.
to out of character answer Ari's question, she looks fairly healthy at this point.
I'm fitty.
After a short rest, you would be pretty healthy at this point.
Well, I would be perfectly healthy at this point if I rolled all my hit die.
Potentially.
I mean, don't use all of them because you only get what, half of them back?
Yeah. Regardless, she looks okay. To answer your question.
I'm 3/4 now. 3/4 good. You know, physically, emotionally, she's not as bubbly as she normally is. She's a little sparky instead. Well, he didn't actually say no, so she's gonna poke him and see if
Well,
he can
I'm
trap him.
just gonna lay on hands the rest of it.
As Ari kind of moves over towards you, kind of hands outstretched, you kind of take a step back just in caution as it almost seems a bit strange, but he kind of eventually places a hand on your shoulder and you see a warm, soft blue light kind of extend from his hand, and you feel the wounds that you had received, the small burns, the electrical burns kind of heal over and go back to soft, smooth skin.
Why, thank you.
It's what, like 5
I-
HP?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need 6.
Okay, it's 6. There we go. Now it's 6.
There we go. There we go. You know, just to be particular.
Oh, that's why I asked on a scale of 1 to N.
I'm following. Envy
I don't know, they make it really, I know there's a lot of groups that have like this taboo on talking about HP directly, but they make lay on hands really like impossible to use without just discussing HP.
Does that just do like a X number of damage?
But lay on
damage?
hands just
Health?
heals. Yep, you
Yeah.
have, so I have a pool of 15, and I can use 5 points to end a poisoned effect, or I can restore HP equal to the number of points, and I can use them in any increments just as an action.
Got it. Yeah, that would be difficult if you can't just say, how much do you have?
Yeah. There's not really a good way around that one.
Yeah, it kind of happens with some of that stuff. If you kind of have to a little bit.
Well, if Valkyrie's still staticky, she's going to poke him and see if she can shock him.
No longer staticky, it would appear.
You kind of take a finger and poke Ari, and nothing seems to happen. Your hair is still a little bit frizzled, but it doesn't seem to have that same staticky current to it.
Worth a shot. That little spark ball did more than its fair share on me. Surprisingly powerful for a little guy.
So when the thing turned invisible, did it actually like disappear like the Minotaur did, or did it just turn invisible and still exist, or do we just not know?
I don't know.
We probably just don't know, if I had to guess. I don't remember actually killing it.
No, it seemed to fade away on its own initiative, for lack of a better term,
Well, there you go.
rather than any response to an attack that any of you had made.
Gotcha.
So as you all are kind of sitting here, what is your next move, or what's the plan moving forward?
Probably find Davil and brother Elias and tell them about our sad experience with the beheaded friend that magically appeared somehow. And I don't know, work from there. Also, probably go tell Durnan about, a chair from his bar magically appearing. That would be a good place to start. Valcrie, why don't
That would be
we
a
go
good
tell
place to
Durnan
start.
about the you said the chair was from in here? How do you recognize a chair?
Yeah. Well, you see, it was the other night. I was serving this rather large half-orc gentleman, and he was etching something into the chairs. And those etchings were spot on from what I saw him do.
You should ask Durnan about that.
You're very bright. I'll see if he has any commentary on that. And so she'll kind of wander over. Also, I now see there's a lot of hooded NPC ladies.
There are indeed, as it is winter and it is quite cold out.
I mean, it looks like Belle from like that.
Imagine not having the warmth of the gods inside you. This brought to you by the Paladin Gang.
Valcrie, as you come up, Durnan kind of catches sight of you. Hi, girl. How are you?
It's been a rough night.
I'm sorry to hear that. Do you need a drink?
No, I'm good. And
I'll
maybe.
take one.
Well, he's had a lot.
I've had like maybe 4. That's not a lot.
I believe he said
that is
5.
not a lot.
You look
Okay,
like
maybe
you could
five.
I was
hardly,
already losing track.
You look like you could hardly stand up, mate. Are you sure you could use another one?
Well, if I get enough, I won't remember
Okay.
anything.
You got a coin?
I do,
Well,
somewhere.
if it's been that bad of a night
Perhaps
and you've got coin, then you
I
get
should
another.
explain.
Please
You
do.
see, we started exploring the Blue Alley at the request of our lovely elven fellow. And we learned it is indeed deadly. By, and mysterious no less, there was a small halfling girl that appeared in a room that had a transmutation spell. And we said we were on our way out at some point once we found this bracelet. so she could just come with us. And so she came, and we found this room with these conjuring minotaurs, and one of them just beheaded her. We didn't even know her, and honestly, she was also a great asset, so that's really quite a bummer.
You beheaded her?
Right before our very eyes.
Sovereigns.
Beheaded.
That's awful.
Hmm.
The stories I hear coming out of Blue Alley are almost as bad as the ones from Undermountain. Hopefully this has taught you a lesson that you all aren't quite ready for that one yet.
Perhaps, but there is a pretty interesting tidbit of information I didn't quite say yet. She had said she was right here, in your tavern, when she had just poofed into the room. Along with the chair I believe she was sitting in. Because maybe you remember him. There was like that really big kind of half-orc guy that was here the other day, scratching in the chairs. I told you about him.
Yeah, Rabaz.
I think.
He's one of the bodyguards for the Growlhounds.
Yeah, I think it was that very chair that he had like started messing with. That she must have been sitting in, and it teleported with her.
I was wondering what happened. We had some people report that a few things were going on weird, some plates and tankards disappearing. Hadn't noticed that a chair had gone missing with it. You said that they were just appearing in Blue
Or a
Alley.
person. Yeah, specifically in the room we were in. There was a transmutation circle, and we put this gem in there, and somehow everything that was inside of it wasn't what it was outside of the circle, and it's a little out of my realm of expertise, if you know what I mean, but it was quite interesting, really.
That's certainly a bit odd.
Yeah, but somehow it connected to your tavern, and I don't quite know why.
Well, let's hope whatever it did, it's no longer there. Can't have more of my customers disappearing now, can I?
You are right about that. It should not be teleporting anything else.
Well, that's good to hear at least, and I'm sorry about your friend, though.
We tried to take care of her appropriately. Took her to one of those big chapel places, and the priest took care of her.
That's good. At least they'll see that she has a proper burial.
Right. But, as you see, pretty strange and trying night, to say the least.
It happens. Can I get you a drink as well, Valcrie?
I don't really drink, per se.
You don't drink? What's that supposed to mean?
Strange place to work. Someone who doesn't drink.
You can consider me more of an observer.
Well, learn by doing. It's going to hand you a drink.
He slides over his half-drunk tankard of ale.
I will take it, but only because you do not need more. And then she'll try to slide it over to Zannah.
Well, now I'm gonna try to take it back. Oh, we don't waste ale here.
Nope. This is mine now.
Zannah's not gonna waste.
Walk away.
Ari kind of reaches.
Here.
Ari kind of reaches across the counter trying to get at it, and Zannah has kind of taken it and scooted it in front of her, and there's this patron in the middle of you three who is just like really awkwardly like trying to lean back and stay out of the way.
Yeah, Valkyrie's gonna lean over to the patron and say, "I'm so sorry for their childish behavior."
Oh, it's fine. I'm just trying to stay out of the way, you know. Don't mind me. In fact, I'll just move over here. And she kind of gets up and kind of goes to the end of the bar.
Scaring the locals. Ari's gonna steal her seat though, because it looks better positioned there.
Right between the two ladies.
You mean
Yep.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, I see what it does to you. So, it's an interesting liquid indeed.
More interesting to drink than to look at.
It's not all that.
See, I like her answer better. And she'll like pull out her notepad and take notes on some of like Ari's mannerisms and word slurring and lack of total body movement control as she's noting how insanely drunk he is. After all, if it weren't for my work here, how would I have known the fellow the other night was drunk and possibly at risk for death, which he also died? Wow, there's a lot of dead people around us.
Yeah, we're beheaded too.
Yeah.
So, like the god of this world really enjoys beheading.
Wait, no one else got beheaded. They got stabbed and their necks cut. That's not beheaded.
He chopped
Well,
the head off
that-
with the
that's
dagger.
being cut.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah,
You did.
Yeah.
Like you made a big point of how he was
Whoops.
beheading him.
I did forget about that. He didn't die from beheading, but yeah, he did behead him after he was dead.
He didn't die from beheading, but he was beheaded.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
Witchcraft.
So as soon as Ari says that, Valkyrie's just gonna kind of like look up at the ceiling and thinking for a moment, and then just kind of resume her normal ways, I suppose.
Not suspicious at all.
I mean, everyone's more perceptive than her, truthfully. So I just feel like there's no point to try and hide it. She's transparent if you ask her. I mean, but no one's asked her, so it's okay.
You don't by chance see that half-orc that you saw carving stuff into the chair, do you?
Looking around, you do
Austin,
not.
does she see her? No, not here.
Interesting. Oh, bye, Novus.
I'm just moving him where he's actually.
Oh.
Novus is getting really close to Mr. Maloon.
Yep, they are in adjacent booths.
Who or what?
Maloon and Novus are in adjacent booths.
Who's Maloon again?
That's my buddy,
Ah,
Mr. Adventurer Casanova.
Casanova.
y'all got all these nice, friendly NPCs, and pretty sure mine wants to kill me.
Oh.
I try to make a friendly PC, still end up with angry NPCs that want me dead.
Spend less
Order-
time drunk
Well,
in
I
your
can
Borderling
introduce you to
now.
mine. I can introduce you to Maloon if you want a nice one.
So, my dog got this duck.
Freya, can you stop looking at my shoulder? That's weird.
And he just brings it and pokes me. How he solicits attention.
Valcrie and
I
Zannah,
think the
you look down
And then
and
the
you're
other
like,
one just wants to...
Ari must be completely drunk because there is no dog next to him.
Ari, are you sure you're okay?
Fine.
Oh, you're fine. Got it.
Maybe we should get you
From
to
my
bed.
observations, he's very not fine.
Oh,
Would you like help?
Alright, I'm going to de-alcohol myself with 5 points of lay on hands to shut them up.
I mean, you can just... I'll loan you my room.
Fine.
It's a very strange thing, but you all watch as his eyes are kind of a little bit cross-eyed, his hair is very disheveled, there's a little bit of drool kind of coming from his lip, and then he just kind of concentrates and just kind of emanates this bluish white glow from like his eyes and out of his ears and nose, and you all are like, what is he doing? And he's concentrating, it almost looks like he's constipated for a moment, and then he just kind of shakes his head and lifts his head up and his eyes are straight, he kind of changes, like wipes the drool off of his face, and he looks fine.
Oh,
See? Told you I was fine.
Did you drink your feelings then?
Well, they're back now.
oh.
Do you have more feelings?
Something of a renewable resource there, Valcrie.
I see.
Are feelings a new thing for you, Valkyrie?
Feelings are not new,
Okay.
but rather learning how people process things is new.
Not as new as
Okay.
grass.
It was grass.
As new as grass. Yeah, we don't have green grass where I'm from.
And where did you say that was again?
Oh, I didn't.
Hellhole, right? No, you didn't say? Oh.
I didn't say.
You want to say, or are we just leaving that as a unanswered question?
What kind of place you grow up that doesn't have grass?
Well, it's very warm and barren and a different realm altogether, really.
So are you from hell?
A desert?
I am from the Nine Hells. That would be an accurate statement.
Interesting.
You.
I don't get to deal with people very much, let alone people that are different from me. This is really quite a treat.
Yeah, you picked quite an odd batch of people to befriend then, I suppose.
No, really. It's the best group.
How old are you again?
Oh, I also didn't say that. And now I have to make sure I pull my character sheet, because I don't remember what I said. Oh, 23 in you human years.
Uh-huh. And what's that in,
The 9 realms of hell years.
what's that in, actual time?
I don't think tieflings live actual time, but she talks kind of weird, so, you know. 9 cycles. There you go. A whopping 9 cycles.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what you've heard, but time really doesn't work the same down there. In fact, kind of live a whole lot of different tenses at once.
Not a place I'd ever really thought about going.
I knew I'd end up there eventually.
What?
Nothing.
Ari just kind of looks back and forth between both of you with his jaw slightly agape as he is very unaccustomed to people talking about being in literal
Going to
hell
hell.
casually. Especially since he has, you know, pretty standard human-y type experience.
Well, I mean, I'm like 225 or something, so I can't remember what I actually wrote down on my sheet. I've already lived several of your human lives.
Ari's about 20.
Aw, you're a BB.
Yep.
See,
Nice and
I thought
naive.
23 was a BB. There you go. I mean, that explains your wisdom rolls to make sure you don't do something really stupid.
I just think that's a fun thing to do. I do that with my other character that's 180.
Well, maybe they overthink. It makes sense.
Oh, they do things.
They do things. Relatable.
Would you say that's a fair description, Austin?
I mean, I'll let you make that determination on your own.
Would you like to describe what things they do?
Do we need an intelligence save for this?
Goodness gracious.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one. I don't know if it's gonna be good. Nope, it's not good.
It is, in fact, not good.
Not good at all.
You certainly, like, listening to her talk, you can't tell how much is serious and how much is, like, total BS. She certainly looks like she could be from the Nine Hells, but at the same time, you're also kind of sure, or kind of convinced that she could also, like, completely talk her way into just about anything.
I seem to believe it pretty well.
You're not wrong.
That's fantastic.
I think you believe everything she says.
More or less, yeah. I mean, you know, as much as someone experienced with fishing tales believes anything, but you know.
Oh, all fishermen believe in great catching stories. Ask my character Mari tomorrow.
Well,
She has great stories.
Here's the thing: you have to believe even if it's not true. You know, it makes life more interesting.
True.
Like, what's life without Bigfoot?
Disappointment.
What's that line from the Santa Claus? Seeing isn't believing, believing is seeing.
Believing is seeing. Yeah.
The pings on Roll20 got a lot faster. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but I've been messing with it all night because, like, they are way faster than they used to be.
That is true.
They
That is
are.
an odd thing to notice.
Nat 20 perception, guys.
Killing it. Just a Nat 3 insight.
Well, is there anything else you want to know while we're chitting and chatting like you people things do?
Things.
So is this why you take notes on everything that we do?
Oh yes,
Okay.
but I'm also a researcher. I was kind of homeschooled, so
Oh, that
I got a
explains
very
it. That explains
direct
it.
point of view. I
That's
got a very direct point of view about a lot of things, and let's just say I've always been quite skeptical and figured, why not come on a research mission of sorts? Just
So,
learn how the other side lives, so to speak.
your powers, where do those come from? It's like I've always been able to just kind of feel, you know, the gods of nature working with me out when I was on the water, and my dad told me about how some of our ancestors were able to do that too, but where do yours come from?
A mysterious force indeed. No one really knows a lot about it. But when it wants to talk to you, it will. My family's more or less worshipped it for millennia. I'd like to think I'm a favorite.
So why are we the perfect bunch of humans? We're quite the motley crew.
Precisely. You're all different. You are perfect because I can look at each and every one of you differently. And it'll help prove my point with a diverse... I'm sorry, I said that really weird. With a diverse group.
And your point
So
being?
it's perfect. That my family has a very certain point of view about everyone in this realm, and I want to prove them wrong.
I see.
So, if I interact with a lot of different people, and they all generally give the same type of results, I would call that a success, wouldn't you?
I suppose that's how science works.
Well, there you go. So I take notes on things that I just want to learn more about or I've never encountered before, and it will help me retain that information for the future. I've always been a studious type.
We've got to get you to, like, roll around in the grass. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
It looks very pointy.
We gotta get you to the
Is it
ocean.
pointy?
So you have to find the right grass. There's some pointy grass that you don't want to roll around in, and then there's some really soft grass, and that's the good grass, and that's what you roll around in.
I see. And what about this ocean? I've heard it's very
Lots.
deep. Am I not?
Deep and salty water.
Parts of it, but there are shallow parts and reefs and sandbars, and the ocean's a huge place.
Interesting. Large enough to be like a world all its own.
Yes,
You could say
most
that.
definitely.
Perhaps when we're not so busy being around death and whatnot, we can go swimming or something. I've heard that's what you do in the ocean. Or at least one of the things you can do.
So here's
Maybe
a
that's
question.
what
You overhear a lot.
That's
Can you die?
what?
Can she
Yeah.
die? But what happens
Everyone
then?
can die.
Yeah, but you've lived 9 cycles. Do you just, like, regenerate? Or get reborn?
Well, cycles are just our version of years, really. Not like, oh, what's that idiom? A cat has 9 lives or something.
Oh, so if you're on 9 cycles, is that the
Nothing
end
like
of it
that.
for you?
Yes.
Oh.
I can live about as long as most normal humans. Perhaps a little longer, but... So not quite as long as you, of course. It sounds like you are a great wealth of knowledge.
I still make
But-
mistakes, like, you know, licking antlers, or horns, but, you know.
Well, I believe you were also told to lick it the second time, so...
Maybe.
I think we all took the loss on that one.
And what a loss it was.
But we can move forward.
Well, since I had to get rid of my buzz to get you guys to quit worrying about me, I think I am actually gonna go swimming before I go to bed. Always helps me clear my head.
Is there a pool nearby, or are you talking about the ocean?
Who am I gonna talk to if I don't go to the ocean?
You talk to the ocean?
Sometimes. Or the animals
Does it talk
there.
back? Ah.
Sometimes, but they always do. Well, most of them. Some are nicer than others, but yeah, it comes with the territory.
Well, if there's animals, I suppose I'll follow you so I can study
Fascinating.
some.
I also would like to study some.
I'll see if the dolphins are in. It's a little bit cold for them, but who knows? Maybe a whale.
Well, would be cool.
And we
That would.
go out
Valcrie would
into
be quite surprised by that.
the Can we go to the ocean?
Yeah, as you guys kind of begin to head towards the door, kind of wanting to go to at least the bay outside the city, as you're heading towards the doorway, you catch sight of Davil as he comes in through the door, with Elias by his side. And he kind of catches your eye and gives you a wave as if he wants to speak to you. And as you guys kind of take that moment and come up to him, we're actually going to leave it off at that for tonight and catch up with you all and Davil and moving forward and potentially going out to the bay to swim next week.
Cool. Sounds good.
And so for anyone watching on stream, I apologize for the abrupt change of pace, but that's how it goes sometimes. And that is D&D. We'll catch you all back here next Thursday at 6 p.m. Central here on Javelin Entertainment. We'll see you then.